Hello, everyone, and welcome to the
118th
episode. Give myself a clean break there, because it's probably not going to be the 117th.
Okay, no, I saw. Again, I do love the whenever you put in a new episode, they 113th
of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. Here with me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and 2022 buddy.
Oh my god,
Frederick. I can't believe we're definitely in the new year.
God, this is such a meta way of recording, and I love it.
And I can't believe that this is definitely, or totally not, the first episode of the new year. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Because I was thinking that the first episode should be like a news mini-reviews pod.
Okay.
So maybe this is the 118th, but who knows? Also, how dare you? I'm gonna kill you.
Also, how dare you have friends?
we agreed when we started this podcast, we would cut everyone off forever.
We are just the two of us. No one else.
So, yeah, if this is the first episode of the new year, Happy New Year's. It's so good to be here.
Happy New Year's.
We are recording this on December 26th, but this will be in the new year regardless, so even if it's the second episode, still Happy New Year's. You don't just have to stop being happy even though it's the second week.
No, I mean, people often say that the second week in the new year is the most depressing week of the entire year.
Really?
No.
Yeah. That's every week.
That's every single day.
When I'm around you. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Bit harsh.
That's a little bit. It's Happy New Year. I'm really working on myself as a person.
We had a delicious little pizza lunch just now.
Metabolism is kicking in.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit of a more laid back pod.
Little heavy high vibes, but high on pepperoni.
Potentially the latest. I'm a little bit high on that cheese they put on my pizza.
God, what was in that margarita? Good vibes only.
I had some really delicious champignon. You did have champignon, didn't you?
Damn, you got me.
Damn, you really told the fans that.
Damn, that's exclusive.
So today, we're going to be doing something that someone recommended we do. Sorry, I don't remember who. But thank you to whoever did. We mentioned in the previous pod that we would do it, and now we're doing it.
We are doing it.
We're going to be talking about best and worst theater experiences.
Ooh.
Or, let's say, cinema experiences, because that'll play better in the title. Best and worst cinema experiences. However,
we can throw in some theater.
We're also going to throw in some literal theater performances.
I don't have many theater performances to talk about.
I have exactly 3, I believe.
Okay, very good.
And I think one of them is yours. One of yours. I believe one of them was when you performed.
Oh, that one. The private show.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about what makes up a good theater experience, because it ranges with the various films here. Some of them are because of the people I was with. Oh. Some of them because of the movie. Some of them because of the general atmosphere.
A combination of all 3 sometimes.
And, yeah, we've tried not to go... we've tried to have... I said we've tried as if we've planned this. This is the first time I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, but I have no clue what's going to happen.
I will, it can't really be... No, actually, that's not true. I was going to say, it should be tied directly to the film, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay. Because
some of these, most of them are, but some of these are kind of just it was a good day. But yeah, so you get how this works. So,
yeah.
Time codes down below. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's just get into this. My number one that I always think of as my favorite cinema experience, which is, and I think it's also the most, what you would think of when you think of a good cinema experience, because it was a great movie.
Okay.
It was a great night. I saw it with family, whom I love.
Okay.
And it was with...
Good addition.
As opposed to all the family that I hate. You know who you are?
You've been warned. I'm still waiting for my money.
No, and it was a film that the crowd was really into. Everyone was... That's the thing. One of the best things about seeing a film in the cinema is when it evokes strong emotions such as laughter or fear. Laughter's not an emotion, but you get what I mean.
Fear is something you want to invoke often.
But seeing something in a group of people who are either laughing or who are there's tension, because of the movie, not just between the audience members,
not the sexual tension between all the members.
It's that's a really special cinema experience. And so seeing Guardians of the Galaxy in cinemas back in August 2014 was just the most I can remember where the whole audience was laughing out loud, and it was it was just such a good vibe in there. Okay. And also I think because the movie with the 70s soundtrack and everything, it's just a fun movie, and it really, you could feel that energy like throughout the cinema, and yeah, that was the number one that I thought of when I thought of this.
Nice. I won't lie, this is probably not the best cinema experience for me, but it is a very recent one and kind of topical. So I will say, and kind of like in relation to what you just said, when I went to watch the Spider-Man No Way Home, completely packed cinema, which is not often you see that, especially during these COVID times, right? So it's kind of fun experience to be there.
Yeah.
And then the way everyone reacted to all the like cameos and different things that happened, there was like those applause and like cheer, and I heard people crying throughout. It was like, I was sitting there, I was living it. It was very, very good, and just kind of like, it felt like everyone was kind of like respectful, but in a nerdy way, I'll say. So everyone was there for it, not like there weren't people sitting there being bored or anything like that. Everyone felt very in the moment, and
in the mood.
Everyone felt very horny.
I agree, and I think that's an interesting kind of discussion of the like fan reaction. Like, where does it cross the line between being fun? Like, I feel like there's a spectrum of like no reaction at all, like even like no laughing, no anything. Like, it's kind of like a bit sad, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then there's the normal cinema experience, just like an average film where like people are, you know, enjoying it and laughing at those jokes. Then there's like you said, and also when I saw No Way Home, because people in Denmark generally aren't that rowdy in the cinema.
No, exactly.
So it's like when people were like, they only ever made noise when Maguire, by the spoilers for No Way Home, it's January, you've seen it by now.
Come on!
When Maguire, Garfield, and like...
not Andrew Garfield, just Garfield the cat.
When they showed up, like people applauded at the end and all that, like when they were saying goodbye and all that. But like... And I think that's a really good level. And I feel like it was a similar thing, if not a little more so. I think that's a really good level for those event films.
Yeah, I think, it's with all the hype, especially with this movie, where all the hype and, like, there's been so many rumors about the movie. Yeah. I think it, like, whilst obviously it can be slightly distracting, but I think it works for this movie because, like, whenever, like, there's been so many, like, oh, will it happen? Will it not happen? And then when it does happen, I think it's fine that people do this, like, kind of louder reaction.
I think that's fun. And, especially for these event films that have had this build-up. And then, on the, very end of the spectrum, there's the kind of thing that, honestly, I never want to be a part of. Maybe once just for the experience. A mass murder. We were both trying to think of something to say.
A friendship.
A mass murder orgy. That is, like, the next Poirot adventure. It just shows up. There's just 20 dead bodies that
they're all in each other.
No. Poirot's like...
Poirot's like,
I missed the invite. But then there's the opposite end where it's like people going like ape shit, like crazy. You see these videos on YouTube, and like that's the thing, the reaction videos on YouTube
where they go beast mode.
Yeah, you can hear the audience reaction. I like watching those videos occasionally with these big films because like, and some of them are quite fun. You know, it's fun to hear like people going like, "Oh my god," and cheering. But then like some of them, they like it sounds like.
They're like getting murdered. They're like, oh my god! It's like it's McGarfield.
It is, and the problem also. It's not a problem, you know. Like it's just they cheer every time, like every joke and like every tiny reference and it's just so.
I agree with you, but you just sound like such a Grinch. Every single thing that's enjoyable, they like. Those assholes. How dare they?
But I just feel like, and again, like I'm not trying to shame anyone for liking or, you know, enjoying, and especially when they have this like, I'm sure also it's taken out of context. It's probably at like a fan event where you expect that kind of thing. But it just seems like the level that I think you and I saw it is the fun version of that.
That's the level I want.
And then when people are like almost as if like the world is ending or something, and they're like freaking out. It's sort of I feel like
chill out. It's just Defoe.
Like when he says like. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself, and there was a video, and it sounded like it was like the World Cup and someone just scored. Like, it was like unreachable, like, decibels. It was like, it's a funny bit, but like,
listen, I laughed, but come on.
I'm a man of humor, but it wasn't great.
I'm a comedian myself.
See, that was good.
See, that was good.
That deserves an upheaval of decibels.
That deserves World Cup applause.
That should have created world peace right there. But yeah, I don't know. That kind of thing, I feel like would be a bit intense and kind of ruin the film maybe. But it could be something you maybe want to be part of once. But anyway, let's move on to one of my worst cinema experiences.
I think I know which one's this going to be.
Well, I'm going to skip number one. Just Spencer. We've talked about that. Skip Spencer.
Do not lie. I think we know that was your favorite. When I went to watch the Princess Diana biopic by myself.
I'll say this is one that I believe I did. It's one of my original like angry old man grandpa rants on the pod. Where Blade Runner 2049.
Okay, I still haven't seen that one.
It's a great movie.
I
saw it in Gintofte Kino. Shout out Pod 100 filming location.
Oh yeah,
That's what. Man. Oh yeah. Raise the roof. That's what they have a plaque on the inside. It's like been around since like 1940. Also poorly planned podcast.
It's like, you know how restaurants have like pictures of the celebrities that ate there.
They just have us in the suits. They just have a picture of Lele strolling in.
It's just Lele strolling in on loop on the screen.
It's not a loop. He just did it thousands of times.
He's still doing it. People think it's a hologram, but we pay him. He's there 12 hours a day.
And 14 hours a night. Sorry.
What a horrifying thing to say.
But Blade Runner, it wasn't even that bad of a cinema experience. But
I'm just being a dramatic little bitch.
I just remember because I mentioned in the pod. I'm pretty sure I should have gone back and listened to what I actually said, but I'm pretty sure there was a guy next to me who just was like sitting with his legs super wide and like his arm on the armrest, and I was just like, "You absolute asshole." I didn't say that.
You turned to him. You know so.
You absolute røvhul, man.
Not just asshole man.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the level of the worst cinema experiences we're starting
Really?
at. No, I mean, I've got worse.
I know. I think I know one for you.
I've got a few more.
What about when we went to see? Was it Kingsman, with the friend group? We went to see something with the friend group.
I have Guardians 2.
Was that the one?
Where an anonymous friend was told to be quiet.
That might be the one.
We'll talk about that, but that's the one. Because Kingsman 2 was a fun time. You know what I should put on here also? The one where we were stalked and followed.
Do you want to talk about that?
Let's talk about, yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, all in all, it was a Woody, no?
It was a Woody's, yeah. And it was wonderful.
It was a great Woody's, honestly.
But it was ruined.
But then
the sanctity of our tradition.
We looked behind us in the cinema, and two people who shall be not named, who shan't be named, that we know.
Yeah.
From our friend group. We look behind, and they're sitting there waving at us and laughing, as if they pulled like the greatest prank in cinema history.
Also, as if we're like some kind of zoo that they've just like observed. Like, what was the entertainment of...
Legit, they told us afterwards, they're like, "Oh, we thought it'd be really fun to go and see you guys in the cinema." I was like,
we don't do much in the cinema.
Like, we're watching the movie.
They didn't watch Thor Ragnarok? They just
sat with binoculars trained on us. Oh my goodness.
He sneezed!
He's eating popcorn again!
What a fat ass!
What a freak! #diet.
Yeah, no, I mean, no hate to them. They probably, to this day, they think it was one of the funniest,
probably the best day in their lives.
Beautiful friendship moment we ever had, and we're just like, they thought it'd be f***ing funny to follow us.
To ruin a Woody?
well, then also they ruined the Woody because we had, in case you don't know, of Woody's, you eat dinner before and then you go see the movie. Usually at Woody's would be nice.
Yes.
And then afterwards, because they were there, and we're like, okay, well, we'll hang out. Then we had to.
We were
forced to accompany them to another. And to a sandwich shop.
I believe Subway.
Sunset Boulevard. Which is closed now. Good. No, I'm sorry. That's bad. They also...
I'm sorry.
They closed down Burger King, but it's back open. Sorry.
Damn. A whole roller coaster of emotion just ran through me. They closed it, but it's back. Oh, thank God.
But, yeah, that was a very strange one. Yeah.
It wasn't the actual cinema experience. It was more just a very strange aftermath.
Yeah, I was like...
Because they were sitting there, like, giggling and thinking they'd done something. I was like... You guys couldn't do anything.
They think they actually had pulled something entertaining off for once in their lives. Amateurs.
Boy, were they wrong.
Yeah, no, just a strange one, yeah.
Very strange.
Honestly, we can just, if there's any noteworthy cinema experiences in here, we can just... you can...
I'll say one. This is very strange and probably just not something I've told... No, I don't know why I would have told you. It's very... niche.
I would only bring it up on a really topic for a podcast episode.
I would only mention this on the worst episode so far. But in 2010, I believe, I went to see the world premiere for the Michael Jackson This Is It documentary biopic. Not biopic. Documentary. Tribute thing. And I was on the news.
What?
Yeah.
Is that clip anywhere?
I don't know. Probably not.
Huh. And this
So
was
basically-
little long hair Freddy.
This is Little Long Hair Freddy. So I went
Jeez.
4 a.m. in the morning. Whoa.
4 a.m. in the morning.
Because it was world premiere. So, like, it screened... It was like, you know how... So,
Was this...
Michael Jackson was going on tour. And then, like, a few days before he's supposed to go on the tour...
Wait, when did he die?
2009.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like I think it was, like, August or something, 2009. And
Okay.
then, like, early 2010, I think this one came out. And then it was, like, showed at the... Like, it had premiere, worldwide premiere, because it was a huge deal. And then my mom and I, we went to watch it. And I rocked up in the Michael Jackson set with a leather jacket and Michael Jackson hat. And then I was filmed walking. I was filmed walking in on the news.
It's an amazing story. Why haven't you told me this before?
I don't know.
It's incredible.
This is the most cool thing you've ever done.
I feel like I know everything about you except the one cool moment you ever had. Wow.
So yeah, I walked in as Jane, just an awesome time because my mom, I love her and she's great and she's very responsible. But she told me to skip school that day. And we went with her and did it, and then we just had a good day afterwards.
What a badass.
It was so good.
Wow.
So I rocked up in the Michael Jackson fit, and then walked in, got filmed, watched the thing, and then came out, and it was just a good
just
time.
had a good day.
Yeah, it was really good.
Fucking hell. That's awesome.
I know, right? I see the pride in your eyes.
That's incredible. You were on the news?
That's so cool.
I really dream of that. Damn, did you buy the Michael Jackson fit for the premiere, or did you have it?
I bought the hat for it. No. So, like, I hadn't really listened to any of his music before he died.
Oh,
and then it was a huge deal when he died, so I started listening. And then I got really sad because I started liking him and he was dead.
And then I learned what death was at the age of 8, and then that's
why I'm very mature now.
and that's why I went to the premiere dressed as Michael Jackson to cope with my fear of death.
Gone full circle. No, so like I think I had like the leather jacket or something like that, and then we found a hat. I don't remember, it was so long ago.
Fair.
But yeah, so it was
Damn,
very good.
That's a badass cinema experience.
It was pretty good. It was like I don't even think it was a proper cinema. It was like where was it? It was like a huge screen that I think is normally used for like a huge like it might have been like in the Planetime where like the screen was like surrounding as well. It was very cool.
Hell yeah! How'd you get tickets? Anyway, we don't have to get.
I don't know.
What day exactly was it?
I was 8 years old.
Damn. Well, that trumps every experience I have on this list. So, so then I saw La La Land with a couple friends. It's kind of fun, I guess. Well, I mean, the most like fancy premiere thing I've ever been to, which is a shame because I'm the one who runs the fucking movie review channel, where you're supposed to get invites to movie premieres. Guess they haven't picked up on Mutual Hudson yet. I guess that invite must have got lost in the mail. Anyway,
Damn, this got so sad. I shouldn't have mentioned Michael Jackson.
So you did break me here.
I knew it was a mistake. It was too soon. I only even say that after 10 years of knowing you.
Well, when I went to the Avengers Age of Ultron like premiere, it wasn't like a world premiere.
I'm sorry.
So, and I didn't dress up as Michael Jackson for it.
It's so funny. It was like an Iron Man costume. You moonwalk in.
But it was a pretty cool, like, kind of, yeah, like, premiere feel. I mean, as big of a premiere as you can have, like, in Lyngby. But it was in the big screen. Someone came out and said something. It wasn't anyone, like, of importance, but it was someone who did it. What'd you get? We got some kind of, like, memorabilia, like, some kind of, like, I don't know, like a poster or...
I don't know, like a Michael Jackson hat or something.
Like a cup with the Avengers on it. Something, it was a little bit more exceptional
When you
than
say a
usual.
cup, do you mean a drinking cup or like a penis cup?
Like a drinking cup. Like a penis guard that you would wear for like a fight or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, they gave everyone who showed up to see it a groin cup. God. Do you mean a penis cup? Do you ask that at every party where like, oh, can you pass me that cup? Do you mean the drinking cup or the penis cup I'm currently wearing? Because I'll pass both.
Because I drink out of this one.
Because they're the same one. God. Because I drink out of this one. Jesus. But yeah, that was good. And also, by the way, speaking of someone talking at the start of the movie, I remember this is just one of the weirdest cinema experiences I had where I went to see Creed 3 with my dad and my grandpa, and we were the only ones in the cinema. Not Creed 3, Creed 2. And I guess this is...
I went to watch Creed 6.
I guess this is the thing they either still do or did at that cinema. I've only been there a handful of times. So it's the only time I've ever seen it. Someone came out and, like, talked to us about, like, what was going to happen in the movie. And it was, like, one of the most bizarre... Because it was only the three of us in the cinema, and then this, like, 16-year-old walks out and they're like, So in Creed 2, Creed fights the villain, the son of Ivan Drago, and I was like, is this like a book report or something we're getting like before?
You're getting paid, my dude?
I was like, is this an employee or just some random kid who wanted to tell us about Creed 2?
He's so funny. Some random kid walked his percentage.
Dressed as Michael Jackson.
Spoils the entire movie while doing Michael Jackson dance move.
Just a very absurd one, but anyway. Do you have any others?
I do have a good one. So in Tisvildeleje. Have you ever been to Tisvildeleje bio?
No.
Well, anyways.
Who goes to Tisvildeleje and goes to the cinema? The whole point is to be outdoors, you fucking freak. I'm still not over the Michael Jackson thing.
Well, this might break you further. I won't lie. So I mean, not as much.
Okay.
But so we went, and there's because Tisvildeleje is a bit of it's a summer house town, not far from where I live. But in that summer house town, a lot of Danish celebrities have their summer house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we went to the cinema there. I think the movie was Ice Age. I believe it was Ice Age 3 we went to watch there.
Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Dawn of the Dinosaurs, a great one. Anyways, and then we watched it in Danish, obviously. And then the voice actor for
Sid.
I forget if it's either the Weasel or the Mammoth. I forget.
First of all, the Weasel is called Buck Wild, and the Mammoth is called Manny. So,
is he not called Manfred in Danish?
I never watched it in Danish.
Well, this is a Danish story.
Okay, so
pipe down.
So Manfred was there.
So the guy who voice acted Manfred was there. So he stood there, and then he gave us a 5-minute Manfred impression. He was like, by the way, this is how he talks, and then he switched into that voice and basically performed live for us down by the screen, in person.
Wow.
He gave us all the little squirrel from Ice Age,
like a little toy,
like a little stuffed toy of that.
F you.
Sorry
for having a happy childhood. God. Okay. Well, you know what? When I put this episode together, I was really thinking I was gonna have to carry it, and I realized you get to meet the Menful actor.
I'm telling you.
And he gave you impressions and toys. That's all I've ever wanted.
Wait, let me find him.
Dude, I don't want to see him.
Go on. What's your next experience?
I hate you. Well, hey, but that is objectively, well, okay, not objectively, subjectively, a delightful experience. Especially, that's not him.
That cannot be him. He died in 1943.
But especially for a little kid, that's gotta be the coolest thing ever. Menflo shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the TC cinema, the place I always wanted to visit. Oh, congrats!
Thank you.
That is a cool experience. And it did break me a little bit more, so appreciate that. But hey,
no worries.
There you go. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna kill him with kindness, and I'm gonna turn this into a wholesome Beach on Freddy moment. I'm gonna say,
damn.
I'm gonna just list off some Woodies that stand out to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna hit you with a few Woodies.
We gotta hit a few Woodies.
Yeah.
But so I have Jack Reacher 2,
epic,
which I think was the start of our. Honestly, yeah, I think we said this before. Probably can thank that movie with the start of the podcast because that was the first one where we sort of joked about the movie and we're having fun.
We're sitting there just
with the movie.
I remember just dying of laughter in the movie.
Yeah, and
I think we're both kind of
we were respectful, just to be clear.
Yeah, I think we're both a little bit reserved beforehand to kind of sit and
because we thought it'd
make a racket and stuff like that in the cinema, and we thought this was gonna be good, and then we looked over at each other at one point and we just lost it, and we couldn't keep it together for the rest of the movie.
It was one of the worst.
It was
one of the best.
But one of the best, yeah.
Then Freaky I've selected because it was.
Of course you have.
Because it embodied my personality.
Because it really spoke to me.
Because there were two things. Actually, it was only two.
Okay.
But well, no, there were three things actually because it was the first.
There was three things. No, okay, there was actually two things. Actually, no, I was kidding. It was three things.
Actually, we never saw Freaky.
Who are you?
Because it was you'd gone off to university. I'd stayed in Denmark for my gap year.
Yeah.
And then this was your big return. It was the first time I'd seen you in 3 months.
It was very good.
It was pretty epic. Then B, it was the first movie in a long time I'd seen because of the pandemic, and so cinemas had just reopened.
I was kind of sad that it's Freaky.
That it was Freaky. And then C, the cinema was completely empty. So we were free to be as loud and as obnoxious as we wanted to be.
I believe, is that the one where we got some dancey dance videos?
It is, yeah. We danced around. Just good stuff. Yeah. So those three, and then there was Gentleman. The Gentleman was also a great one.
Gentleman, just a great movie, but also one that we can laugh at.
Yeah, and Rampage. an iconic. Seeing that for the
course.
first time on the big screen.
God, it was really good. It was really good. May I also add, Spectre. Whilst not a good movie, the start of something beautiful.
Very true. And also, Murder on the Orient Express. Another excellent. I mean, most of the Woodies you could.
Yeah, a lot of the Woodies, especially like the earlier ones, pillars of what we've become today.
What our friendship is. Unlike Fantastic Beasts 2, which is the worst Woody and the worst cinema experience.
Yeah, not a great one.
Even worse than meeting Menful.
That was brilliant.
Go on if you have.
I've got a somewhat bad one. Just like the overall experience I left with was awesome, but there was I remember just specifically a very, very uncomfortable moment with me. Not with me, for me. In it, where we were sitting watching the Black Mass movie.
Ah.
Your favorite movie. Remember when that was a huge movie?
I think it was only...
It was a 7.9.
It was my 7.9 least favorite movie ever.
No, it was a favorite. You rated it higher than Ant-Man.
He's good.
I assume.
I don't know.
Anyways, sitting there watching a brilliant movie, but and I was sitting there with my mom and my dad watching it. In front of us, 6 rowdy teens.
Yeah.
And you best believe, like, and in fairness, they were rowdy and very, very annoying and obnoxious and stuff like that. So, like, I probably, if I'd been a slightly older, because I was like, what, 14 or something like that? And they might have been like 16, thereabouts. If I'd been older, if I'd been like how I am now, the humongous gentleman and beast, I would have told him to shut the fuck up. Yeah. But, little timid boy, as I was, didn't say anything. But then you just hear the bellowing of Papa Dalgard saying, "You guys need to shut up." And then everyone like looked back, and then they started laughing a little bit, but like not respectfully, but like they're like in fear, in nervous laughter, and then like and then they stopped. But I was just sitting there like, oh
yeah.
When your parents get a little bit like we just watched the Tommy John Tyson Fury thing, where they're sitting there, oh my god,
yeah.
It's exactly that feeling where I was sitting there like, oh my god, very like for 5 minutes I just kind of sat there, was very red.
It's kind of that's the thing. It's like. It's good that they did it. Like, you wanted them to do it.
Yeah,
but it's like, it's kind of embarrassing. Also, it's just, like, awkward, And I get that. Yeah, 100%. And it's sort of... Yeah. You want to, like... it's a similar thing with... I guess we can talk about the Guardians 2 experience.
Let's talk
where
about it.
That was the optimal way to do it. Because that was a bit... Even more... a bit of a complicated one. Because it was our own friends. And you don't really want to... We saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in, like, a big kind of friend group. And a couple of our friends were a bit talkative, let's say. And they were
one of them, same person who was in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I really hope she doesn't listen
together.
To
it was just talking. One of our friends. Yeah, she was. Yeah, they were being a little loud.
A little loud.
And so yeah, when it's your own friends, like if it was you, like if it was just like 2 of us, like you say like, shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, you can say like,
Yeah, I think, especially if it was the 2 of us, I think we also just have the kind of like, we know when we can sit and chat.
You just know.
And you know when you don't.
And you kind of give like
She clearly does not have that filter.
But so, yeah, you don't really want to, especially when you're in like a friend group, you're having fun, you don't really want to lean on and be like, hey, can you guys shut up? And be the Grinch of the group, And so, thankfully, even though they... remember this moment as like one of their most shameful and like embarrassing moments. I remember it as one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
Where some guy in front of us just turned around and he was like,
"Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, he was like, did he say like, "Hold Ben McKift" or something?
He was like,
that?
"No, hold on, Kift."
Yeah.
He was like, "Now you guys sip it."
Yeah, which is like a harsh, shut up, like a harsh shut
like,
up.
Shut up. It's not quite shut the fuck up, but it's like shut your mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mean teacher. Hold Kift.
Hold Kift.
Yeah. So and they were silenced.
God, they hard kiffed.
They didn't move a muscle. So
they sat there like deer in the headlights.
So yeah, that was yeah. It was my favorite cinema experience. Whereas yours was going to a premiere and getting on the news. Mine was when a stranger told my friends to shut up. So sad.
Let's see. Do I have any other good ones? I mean, all the good Woody ones are amazing. Christ. Okay. I've got something, not quite a cinema experience, I'll say, but something that,
but a bowling alley experience.
But a stabbing incident
that I wasn't involved with. I just thought it was really interesting. I
read it on the news. Yeah. It's not exactly a bad trip, but it's just kind of like, it's funny how many times it happened and how my reaction was the exact same every time it happened. So this happened thrice. twice in our old school, and once in my school after. We went twice to Gentofte Kino, and once to another cinema, to watch this one sustainability movie. What's it called?
It's like French, right?
It's in French.
Yep. I've seen it, I think, 3 times as well.
Right? So,
What the
what in the world? It's such a, okay, good initiative. I study environmental science. I love it.
So fucking lame.
Like,
that
it's
they're trying to...
it's really interesting,
But 3 times.
3 times, and I remember every single time I fell asleep. I've never watched that movie in its entirety. I've only watched the beginning and part of the end. I've got no clue what happens in between because it's so boring.
I remember, this is a kind of a weirdly wholesome memory, but I remember we got there, I think it was the second one, like the second time, within a pretty close period of time seeing it.
I believe it was like a year, like 1 year after the other.
And I was like, what the f***? And so I never felt more sneaky Mission Impossible, but I put my hoodie on, I snuck my headphones in, and I listened to an episode of The Weekly Planet.
Oh, you have told me this.
Yeah, throughout the whole movie. And so that was, and so I'm probably gonna have all my grades revoked now for doing that.
They're gonna go like, oh my god, he cheated.
And then we had to go see it again, so I got my comeuppance for it. But
I slept so.
But yeah, what a strange, oddly specific thing that they've made us watch. Like,
because it's like, I also watched it in the later years in my high school.
Yeah,
it's
same.
Like, what?
It's crazy. It always comes up. It's like a nightmarish experience.
Yeah.
But now I always associate it with James and Mason discussing Black Mirror. So
nice.
So that's what I think of environmental science. I forgot to actually put this on my list, and it is my all-time worst cinema experience, and legitimately one of my least favorite experiences to think about in life in general. And it's not that bad, but it stands out to me because, like, when you grow older, little kind of social embarrassments, they're not as bad. Like, it might be a little embarrassing in the moment, but like when you do something when you're younger, you like think about it for like years, you cringe and all that stuff. You know how you think back to like stuff you did when you're younger. It doesn't get as bad when you're older. This is like the one thing in like the past few years that I think about where I'm like, it makes me cringe and just sad and anxious, and it's the worst thing.
Do I know what this is?
I think I told you.
Okay.
I don't know if I've told it on the pod.
Anyone ever?
The movie Joker.
Okay.
In 2019.
Okay.
I went to see it with my dad.
Yes.
I bought the tickets on the app, as I always do.
All right.
And this is also, by the way, you've probably, even if I hadn't told you this, you've noticed the residue of my compulsive checking of tickets and dates. Because we got there, and I'm with my dad, and I'm like, I'm almost taking him to the movies, it's a bit, because I got the tickets.
It's your responsibility.
I'm the man of the family now. We go to the
we go
to the ticket checker. He checks them with his little scanner. He's like, yeah, you're good to go. But we weren't good to go. Because we get in there, we take our seats, someone else comes and is like, oh, you're in my seat. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not. And then I look at the thing, I'm like, yeah, look, it's my seat. And then there's like 5 minutes of confusion there, because they had the same seat number. I'm like, how is this possible? And then I'm showing them my phone. They scroll up, and they're like, du har den forkerte dato. And we were supposed to come...
Which means?
Oh, which means it's the wrong date. Which means our tickets were for the next day. And we were sitting there, and it was in the middle of the whole cinema. There was a bit of a, everyone was noticing because there was a bit of a thing going on there. Yeah. Everyone knew what was happening, and everyone heard that, and everyone started laughing.
Oh, no, that's so bad.
And even my dad was laughing, which was like, should have made it more wholesome, but somehow made it much worse.
You just started crying. I imagine you absolutely pissed your pants.
So, you laugh it off, you're like, ha ha ha. But I was like,
damn. That was
like,
not good.
I really f***ed that. But then it gets even worse, because then my dad was like, oh, we're here. Like, let's stay. And so we went and sat in the front. And he was like, yeah, probably no one's going to show up here. And that's why, the first 30 minutes of the movie...
Was you being paranoid or what?
I was looking over my shoulder. And because people kept... I don't know what the f*** was happening. People kept opening the door. And I was like, this is when we're going to get kicked out. Like, someone's going to come and need to sit in our seats. And I was like... It was just... Again, one of these things that, normally these days... doesn't really affect you when you're this age, but for some reason
it just resonates,
seeps in my heart, and I was like, I've never wanted to be swallowed up in the ground. It was just, and so now literally every single time I go to the movies, you double check. I can attest consistently.
It's very much
when we saw Spider-Man when I saw Spider-Man with my mom, I was literally like, today's the 16th, right?
We're watching Spoderman, right?
So that would be the worst experience in my cinema history.
Okay, that's fair.
And so I've always, maybe that's why I didn't really connect with the movie Joker that much, because I spent the first 30 minutes looking over my back thinking we were going to get humiliated and kicked out. And my dad was going to laugh at me.
Was this before or after the Thomas Ho incident? This was before, no, after Thomas Ho.
Oh, way after. Oh, Thomas Ho, that's a brilliant incident.
That's a brilliant, yeah.
It's not so much an incident as a miracle.
Yeah, we've told it before, I think, but
yeah.
Should we tell it again?
Please.
So.
God, this episode really makes me look like a huge fool. Because this is not a good story either.
You crying about Michael Jackson and then getting the tickets wrong.
And then losing our tickets on this one.
Well, yeah, so we go. You get the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go for dinner.
Yeah.
We go for a Woody. We come back. The tickets are nowhere to be found. I don't know what's happened.
And this is back when we would get paper.
There's a paper ticket. Yeah. So we're sitting there, kind of panicking. You started pissing.
I started pissing and crying and screaming,
like a little bitch boy. And then we're sitting there, like we need to think on our feet because the movie's starting in 5 minutes. And then we go up to there's down at the bottom level is where you'd normally get the tickets, but up at the level just before you go up to the screens, there's another guy standing there, also doing tickets. We're like, all right, we'll go over, we'll ask him. The guy was called Thomas Ho, and he is a legend.
Fucking legend.
God, what a king. He was like, all right, boys, and then he sorted us out and got us the tickets.
Yeah, we were
like, we're saying they're like,
we looked so innocent.
I mean, we lost our tickets. We didn't pay.
We had the receipt though. That was good. Yeah. We were like, we have the receipt, and he was a little skeptical. But he was like,
okay, boys.
All right, boys. And we were like, Thomas Ho.
And
then, as mysteriously as he'd appeared when we walked out, he was gone.
We walked out.
Never seen him again. So if we can, I don't know, if the fan page, if you can just choose a stock image of some random Danish kind of mid-20s guy and just a shrine.
He was bald and he was in his 30s.
I remember him as being kind of a young.
No, what are you on about? He was
a bit of a Statham looking.
He was Statham looking.
Okay, can you please put a picture of Statham, maybe a little bit younger than he is currently, and just a shrine to Thomas Ho?
Yeah,
we just need to show our respects.
By the way, when we say Thomas Ho, we mean Thomas H.
Yeah, good call. And yeah, that was American made, which turned out to be a great Woody. So
another good Woody. Oh, there's so many good Woodies, honestly.
Right there. Yeah, I have not so much a bad or good one, just kind of strange one. I was on vacation with my family in where was it? In Ireland, actually. Funny enough, where I've ended up now. Which was actually
funny how the world works.
The vacation where I had the inspiration to start the Poorly Planned podcast. That was
the inspiration on the vacation.
Normally we wouldn't do this on a trip to another country, but
there's all to do in Ireland.
But we were in this nice little town. I can't remember which one, and we kind of wanted to see, because I was with the whole family, and so Beauty and the Beast was out at that time, and it seemed like a good one for the family, something everyone can enjoy a little bit, especially my dad. And so we're like, why don't we? Because we'd done all the sightseeing we wanted to do for the day. We're like, why don't we do that? Just a little relaxing thing. It was kind of nice, but it was one of the weirdest things ever. Where it wasn't a cinema; it was a school gym that then they set chairs up in, and then they had a pretty big projector screen, but not that much bigger than what would be in a normal school gym. And so we basically sat in this random school gym and watched Beauty and the Beast, but it was normal cinema. It wasn't school kids. It was normal cinema audience. It was
That's
a very
so strange.
weird
it'd
experience.
Be very concerning if you sat and just impeded on a bunch of school children and their break.
Their assembly or something.
You just walked in. Your dad just sits and crushes one of them.
That was actually a bad one because I think I even talked about this in the first episode at my original BHL Angry Rant, where there were some girls who were really annoying, and I believe I say in the first episode, and I wanted to just chuck my fucking water bottle at them. Which nothing's changed.
Nothing's
changed.
Do that. I've got one that is very recent as well, and it's less about my experience in the cinema, but more in tandem with your experience.
Huh.
So basically, you went to watch Spencer.
Oh my god.
Alone.
Fuck you. Why would you bring it up?
You went to watch Spencer alone.
Yeah.
Whereas I went to watch Last Night in Soho, your most anticipated movie of the year, because it hadn't come out yet, with fine company, shall we say. I just had a good time. I just sat there and I was really enjoying myself.
Just a mean one. You literally got a better time out of the fact that I was not having a good time.
I was kind of sitting there chuckling to myself at one point. I was sitting there, and then I remembered that BHL was watching. The Princess Diana biopic alone. And I just sat there and I did chuckle to myself a little. I was like, damn, this is funny. Yeah, I know it's mean and it's harsh, but
you know what? I say this only because you've gone there, and I never wanted to like desecrate our friendship like this. But one day you're gonna be in a very low point in your life,
and I'm gonna go watch Black Mass,
and I will point that out to you in front of hundreds of people on a podcast.
I don't think that was a low point.
No, I was okay, but
I'm actually
alright. Actually, that was the coolest thing I've done all year. Oh my god. Well, anyway, now that you have transitioned into the date territory, I thought we would.
Yes.
I had a couple of things. First date I ever went on, I took a girl to see Finding Dory, which was actually a great time.
A great time.
I actually
didn't
completely
mean it a
forgot
bit.
about that.
I actually completely forgot she existed.
I actually forgot to take her, so I just saw Finding Dory.
It was a great time.
It was one of my favorites. And then years later, just some ones that have a special place in my heart. Rocketman, I saw with a lady. Very nice time. Harry Potter 1, they were doing a re-showing of it. And
kind of cringe.
Yeah, that one actually sucked.
That's one of the worst cinemas.
Which was a very delightful time as well. And also, I skipped, much like yourself, Bad Boys for Life, I skipped class one time with my lady, as I referred to her.
What up, my lady?
And we saw Maleficent 2, which wasn't planned, but we were...
Maleficent?
That's what I said. Hey, babe, do you want to go see Maleficent 2?
She immediately said yes and dropped out of school.
But we had no idea what we were going to see. We were just like, let's just go to the cinema. And then we're like, you know what? Maleficent in the middle of the day. It was just a very, very fun time. So
okay, I won't lie. The date cinema experience is just enjoyable.
God, how have we never gone on a double date? Okay, next time have a girlfriend and I have a girlfriend. We're both currently single. Next time I have a girlfriend and you have a girlfriend at the same time, we go on a double date, alright?
It's a deal. Even though we live in different countries.
Yeah, we figure it out somehow.
Who's flying over?
I don't know. You know what? You're visiting potentially in February. I get a girlfriend by then. You get a girlfriend by then. Bring her. Anyway. Yeah, do you have any more? I know we're kind of coming to the end. I'll like run through these very.
Yeah, I mean, I've just got a lot of that have been very, very enjoyable.
That's it.
But I don't
do
think
you want to do like a speed thing? Because I can just list off like
I can just lift off
list off like the Avengers 2012, Creed, Baby Driver, Spider-Man: Homecoming, La La Land, Whiplash, Birdman. Those are just. There's not much to say. Those are just great cinema experiences. Yeah. It was great to see it in the movie. There was great energy in the crowd and all that.
Yeah, I'll say when I went to see Bohemian Rhapsody with my family, that was also a very, very good time.
with my
yeah, because there's been a lot of hype around that movie as well. It was a very, very good time.
Yeah, I would say Creed was great. I guess we can also, since we promised we can talk about some plays real quick. Although actually, I'll also say not one of like my top ever, but just I remember Shang-Chi. The cinemas reopened again, and at that point I saw it in IMAX, and it was just really nice to like be back in the cinema after a while.
I'll also say, definitely not a very good movie experience, but the cinema trip experience itself was quite nice. When you came over, we watched Eternals together.
That was nice.
Time. It was a good time. Like not a very good movie, but we just sat there and it was just good to be back together.
You're gonna come to my land. I'm gonna show you a good old time, my guy.
Hell yeah!
Oh man,
such bros.
But yeah, so let me just actually, before we jump into plays, anything else on the worst? When I saw Avengers Endgame, it was a great cinema experience, but there was one annoying little kid like 2 seats away from me, and he didn't ruin the movie, but I just remember very distinctly. I think I must have told you this, but when Captain America goes, Avengers, then he goes, and the kid just winds up. I was like, don't do it. And he goes, assemble, and the kid dabbed as hard as you've ever seen. And I was like, for sake. It was like,
that's so good.
It was it didn't ruin the moment. If anything, it really enhanced it.
I love that.
And then
I've been getting back into dabbing lately.
Put it right there. It sounds like some kind of drug that
I've been dabbling.
And the Nun.
Sorry.
The Nun I saw with Yassine for his birthday, and that sucked.
Yeah, I just everything you said there just sounds awful.
I don't like horror movies, so I just kind of look at the popcorn all the time. But the company and time was great. Now plays.
Plays.
I have 4 that I wrote down here. Yeah, 2 best, 2 worst.
Okay.
And I think actually let's save the one we both share, because I can just speed round the other 2. So the Nutcracker I've seen a bunch of times. I saw it this Christmas.
Okay.
And I've seen it like a bunch of times. I've seen it in America. I've seen it in Denmark. Like, you know, I'm not crazy about ballet or performance or all that, but just, you know, it's the Christmas thing. Seeing it with family, it's just a really nice time. And then the two, what was it? Oh yeah, very recently I was told to go. Didn't have to, but it was recommended that we go see this thing called Krapp's Last Tape. Krapp spelled Krapp.
Krapp's Last Tape.
Because we're going to be studying it next year or something.
Okay.
So I went with a friend of mine, and like, it was one of those things where it's like, it's random, and that's why it's interesting. And I'm sure, you know, I'll analyze it, and there'll be lots of deep meaning, whatever. But the first 10 minutes was him.
You're sitting there like, ugh.
Well, it was him. He unpeeled a banana, and then he put it in his mouth, and he stood there for like probably 40 seconds, and then he bit it, and then he walked back, and then he did it again. I was like, yes. And then I'm gonna have to write a fucking essay about this, being like, and the banana represents the baby. Probably shouldn't put this out where someone can hear it. But I'm like, it
sounds very strange.
I mean, it had like interesting themes or whatever. But I was just at the end, I looked at my friend, and I was like, we were like, yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't worth it.
This is not it, Chief.
And then finally, I just want to mention, because it's a very Danish vibe. I saw a play when I was younger with my family, where it was a musical, and it was about a kid finding his first pube. And that was the whole musical. And it's just the most Danish sense of humor thing. Like, we have John Dilleman, and, you know, it's like a 40-year-old guy pretending to be like a 12-year-old and all that. So, you know, that wasn't good or bad. Just a thing. And then do you have any others before we get to the Lion King?
I've got one that we also... What do you say? Before we get to...
The Lion King?
No, that's it. That was
okay.
Say. Yeah.
Well, then, we saw together, on our trip to London with school...
The Lion King.
The Lion King. And it was f***ing awesome.
Amazing. I've seen it twice. So I saw it once with my old school and then once with this school. It's so good. I love it.
Like, it was also the general vibe, you know, like the trip, your friends.
Yeah, you're sitting there, you're just having a good time with your friends. That's also the trip we kind of started becoming friends, you know.
Right there. And it's interesting, like, especially at that age. What were we, like 13 maybe?
Yeah, about 13.
Where like you're not really used to like being in other countries with like your friends and like being like in a new environment with your friends. So it's just like without your parents. So it was like a really cool thing.
Bonding experience. And
the play
is just so
or
good.
the musical, or whatever, it was f***ing awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. Like the music in it. You can't really see the face acting, I guess, but like the acting as well.
Yeah,
very
visual,
good.
all like the costumes and,
very well done.
And I also heard that the year afterwards, someone like one of them crashed or something when they went to see it. Like the year below us, when they went the next year, someone in the play like crashed into something and like the play was ruined.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of grim. Anyway, ours was great though.
Ours was really I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
like one of the actors on stage like crashed into something.
Yeah.
Lol.
Something like that. I hope they didn't die or anything, because you just said lol. But
oh yeah, that'd be really bad.
And we had like really good seats as well. And then I remember we were on the tube going back to the hostel, and we were all just like joking around.
I remember someone messed up the tube and we went the wrong way. Maybe that wasn't that day, but one of the days.
Probably.
I think so.
No, yeah, that was.
I remember our geography teacher did hit us with a great joke on one of the walks as well. He's otherwise a pretty serious dude. He was at the time, at least. Now he's a bit more of a jokester. But we were sitting there. We were walking up in front with him. I don't know if you heard this. I've definitely told you. But he turns to me and he goes, "What kind of bees drink milk?"
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there. I don't know. What bees do drink milk? And he looks at me. He's like got glasses and he like leans down and looks me directly in the eyes. He goes, "Boobies." And like laughed and walked away, and I was like, "Oh my god, what just happened?"
Oh my god, I just became a man.
Oh my god, I just grew up.
I just know all the problems in the world. Yeah, I don't think I did witness that, but that sounds like one of the greatest. Sounds like him too. He also made a joke of when he was teaching us geography. He was like, "So the tectonic plates with America and Europe are moving further apart," and he was like, "Yes." He is in fact British, so he hit a big meme.
He's in fact of the UK. He's also.
We shouldn't give too much detail about this dude.
Well, not details about him. It's more
his full name and address.
One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
that I very much enjoyed that he did. So we're sitting there. We're getting tests back. And then some guy had gotten a 72%. And then so 70 to 80% is a B, right? So then this guy who got his test back sees that there was a marking error and he should have gotten 74% and makes a whole fuss about it. And then the teacher goes, "All right, okay, congratulations. You've gone from a B to a B. And I just did the sassiest walk away. I was like, God damn.
He's
such
low-key
a savage.
legend.
He's such a savage.
I mean, yeah, so one day, there's so many stories we could tell about that man.
Yeah.
I arm wrestled him.
You won? In 8th grade?
Don't spoil it. Yeah, no, what a wonderful time. Anyway, yeah, great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, now it's time for...
the Cnews.
Now, we are recording this December 26th, like I said, so...
It might just be a Tom Cruise fact.
I'm gonna find a really cool Tom Cruise fact, and... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna find a Tom Cruise, 2 truths and a lie. How's that sound? And you guess which one's,
Can I just reveal a text I've just received?
You may.
This text does, in fact, read, "Ew, watching Elementary, and Brett Dalton is there." I thought we killed the bastard!
As I stressed in that episode, that was just a meme about
Just
a cardboard
cardboard
and
cutout.
not the man.
Well,
So
I
I don't know
assume
why
it's
you would think that, Freddie.
I assume it's a cardboard cutout who's in it, no? They couldn't afford the real man.
The only thing you ever told me about Brett Dalton, you were like, you know he's in Elementary. Why are you looking behind you as if he's going to be there? Oh. You know, Freddie did the slowest turn to where Brett Dalton used to sit. And I was like, Freddie, he's gone, man.
Wake up!
All right, Tom Cruise facts.
Fun facts.
Nope, just facts.
Okay.
Encyclopedia Britannica, so you know they're not going to be fun.
This is so bitter.
Mother
Britannica.
Manfred. Alright, you know, never mind.
I feel like there's been a huge Manfred-shaped hole in your heart.
It was always there. Alright, we're going to go with India. What is this? Times of India. Alright. Alright, so he is of Irish, German, and English ancestry.
Okay.
He had a Catholic upbringing.
You make it sound like there's like 2 truths and a lie.
Well, no, it is.
Is this 2 truths and a lie?
It is. So one of these is not true. You have to
Sorry.
whatever the first one, Catholic thing, and he
Well, if you're making
really
this up-
looks like I'm thinking of it, doesn't it? This.
Okay,
Those
start
are
over.
true.
Start over. Start over.
It's too hard. All right, I'm gonna give you 1 truth, 1 lie.
Okay.
All right.
I won't look at you, so I know.
Okay, good.
Because that was a dead giveaway.
That didn't go so well, did it?
Reads word for word and then tries to think of a lie.
All right. Tom Cruise has 2 cats and 1 dog,
Okay.
or Tom Cruise tried to get on his high school wrestling team.
You definitely added the at the end to distract me, so he doesn't have a cat and 2 dogs. I mean, the other thing. 2 cats and 1 dog. That's a lie.
He got me as 2 dogs and 1 cat. But he did. I didn't do that on purpose, by the way. I genuinely was trying to think of a way to say it without reading it out word for word. I was like, and B, after losing out a place on his high school wrestling team due to knee injury.
I see.
So it's like he tried to get on the wrestling
He definitely
team.
wanted to be there.
He definitely has 8 cats. So yeah, anyway, that's the Tom Cnews for this week. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Now it's time for the announcements and such. Take it away, us in several weeks. Hey, so this week the announcements are just going to be the announcements we recorded last week because they weren't able to go in last week's pod. The only new announcement from this week, because there wasn't actually anything this week, so it worked out pretty well. The only new thing I want to mention is that Cian Konecki made a 2021 movie montage on his channel, and it's not pod related, but Cian is a friend of the show, and it was a great montage, so I just want to give that a shout out. Check it out on his YouTube channel, Cian Konecki. Anyway, now on to the announcements from last week. And we're back for the announcements and such segment. I got Freddie on the line. What's up, Freddie?
You best believe you do. What is up, my man?
I always love saying I got Freddie on the line as if this is some, like, impressive radio show or something, and I didn't just, like, call you up. So, got quite a few announcements today, not gonna lie.
No!
So,
you wouldn't.
First of all, on the fan page, we had Cian posting a delightful little sticker of favorite pod moment of 2021. And so I screenshotted a few, and I just thought I'd read out what some people's favorite pod moments were from last year.
Okay. That's a fun little mini game. I like it.
So first of all, someone said, "Honey, I want to see the bat nipples tonight." What's their favorite moment?
Okay.
Someone else's was hand.
I think so. Like 30,000 different favorite moments.
I'm realizing this was a bad idea. The dog movie fanfic starring Channing Tatum as an abomination. Santa, why are you naked? So we take the carrot and stab him with his own nose.
Nice.
Where are your clothes, Santa? So
big ups on the Santa app.
Yeah, people seem to enjoy that. And then
you always seem to enjoy the Christmas episodes, even though we're sitting there feeling it's falling apart.
Yeah. So no, thank you, Kian. That was a very fun little thing to remember the past year by. And then I've written something here that this is like one of the dumbest things I've ever done, because I wrote it in my notes when I saw it, and I thought to myself, this might be too vague where I won't remember what this is referring to when I'm reading it, and now I don't remember what it's referring to when I'm reading it. But
okay, great.
I wrote, JC Comics gave us a shout out on Instapoll. So I don't know what that is in reference to, but JC Comics, I guess he must have put up a story that was like saying...
this?
Like a poll, but it was saying like my favorite podcast this year or something like that. Oh no. Okay, so there was someone else put up an Instagram poll or like a little thing saying like, what was your favorite podcast of the year, your favorite movie podcast? And he said, I obviously gave you guys a shout out. And I hit him with the classic Momoa, my man. So there we go. Thank you, JC.
My man.
Then let's see.
You are the Momoa to our fans.
Oh yeah, I think I'm the Momoa to everyone I meet in life.
Including Momoa.
Yeah, exactly. Nico XD 1218 tagged us on TikTok. There were two Morbius TikToks. One was TikTok saying no one's talking about Morbius, and so he tagged us just a reference that
when you say he tagged us,
well, he tagged me and the fan account. And by the way, he asked if this was a fan account. The Poorly Planned TikTok page is a fan account. It's run by Kian. Just want to put it out there. And then there was one talking about how Morbius is delayed, and it said Freddy will be devastated. So yeah, that was
honestly, you sent me the news, and I was kind of sad about it.
But of course, a film designed for fools would be pushed to April 1st. Sorry, I had to insult you. Like
that was well done. That was well done.
Thank you. I've had that
as far as insults go. That was pretty good.
I've been just hoping that they'll delay it to April 1st, and I've had that written for years now.
The moment you heard about Morbius, you're like, oh my god, this is gonna be brilliant.
Luke on Instagram, he responded to the story you put up that I reposted of us having a little home Woody, which we'll talk about some other time. By the way, I've discovered that in our use of the word Woody, I've forgotten that means something very different in the real world. So when I tell people that we had a home Woody, I get some strange looks. But yeah, so our home Woody's Cafe experience. Anyway, he said, like, how dare you eat a burger with a fork and knife? And I had to clarify, I was just cutting the burger in half. So I just want to clarify that for everyone. I cut the burger in half and then I ate it because it was a very big burger.
Actually, he cut it into small chunks and used a spoon.
Actually, I smushed it into a soup. And then I drank it out of a protein shaker.
He blended it and just slurped it off his plate with a straw.
Also, I made a little MCU short upcoming things, and I totally forgot to put Blade in it. I just want to put out there, I'm sorry. That was just me being a dumb boy. And then, I just want to say, I think you'll really enjoy this. On my BHL Hudson channel review video. By the way, tons of nice comments on that. Thank you to everyone. Very nice comments on that. Just one that I want to mention. Oak99 says, you look like the child of Chris Evans and Charlie Cox. I swear this is meant as a compliment. Lamau, Happy New Year. Keep up the good work. So, first of all, how could you ever assume that would not be meant as a compliment? That's the biggest compliment anyone could ever give someone. And second of all...
That is such a great compliment. Oh my god.
I'll take it. Those are like the two most handsome men. I will absolutely... So I'm now the Momoa and the Chris Evans and Charlie Cox. So.
Well, the Momoa you coined yourself.
But yeah, no, thank you, Oak99.
Well, speaking of Chris Evans, I just finished Don't Look Up. He makes a little sneaky cameo in that, doesn't he? Isn't he the movie guy? like the actor who's like making some like $300 million movie.
Yeah, Evans does make a cheeky.
I saw that. I was like, my God, Evans!
He's the king of cheeky cameos this year. He had.
The thing is, it's so subtle that like most people will not even get it. Obviously, I've got such a great hyper-aware eye, but
just specifically for the Evans though, nothing else.
No, nothing else.
Then let's see. Okay. Well, yeah, I won't go through all these because it's kind of self-indulgent, but just some really nice comments on my video from Caesar, from that guy Canman, and from Ellen. Just very nice comments in general. Just thank you, everyone. And then I thought you would enjoy this comment from a name that I'm gonna struggle to pronounce. I'm sorry, Zdenek Smichael, who says on my top 10 movies of 2021, your choices are bad. You should feel bad. So I thought you would enjoy that.
Damn.
Just straight to the point. I wanted to pin that. Just like it conveys the video pretty well.
Your choices are bad. You should feel bad.
And maybe he's just referring to like my life, like not even the video. He's just talking about like in general,
not even just,
your choices are
everything
bad.
You've done so far has not been smart.
It wasn't the move. But yeah, those other comments were also on top 10 of 2021. Those nice comments. So thank you everyone for the support. Then especially Zdenek. Then Sean Finn says, I know this is late because it's after the Christmas pod, but I got my best friend who's a big Ryan Reynolds fan a life-size cardboard cutout of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and I put a picture of his face over Blake Lively's face. Is this a pod-worthy present? That is, I think we can say officially, a pod-worthy present.
I think this gets an official pod thumbs up.
That is an excellent present, so I hope your friend appreciated that. Michael Scarn says, "Where is the movie that would be most improved by adding Tom Cruise award?" So I think we should just hit that now to make up for forgetting to put that in.
Probably Mission Impossible.
Well, I believe it from 2021 was the
I see.
I'm feeling a heavy I can't even think.
I won't lie. If you just strode in Eternals, I think it'd be quite funny.
Yeah, you know what? He should have been sexy Harry Styles man after the credits. That should have been Tom
honestly
Cruise.
I can see that.
I think it would have been great if he showed up right at the end of A Quiet Place 2 and just started screaming. There you go.
He showed up as one of the monsters.
No makeup required. I'm kidding. Handsome man? Question mark. I feel like every time we do that, I just say the person's handsome, but he is handsome, I guess. Anyway,
and then add a question mark because you're not really sure.
That completely takes away the disclaimer. Handsome guy, I guess? Question mark.
Handsome man, some might say. I don't know.
And then finally, Ryan. Ryan. He says, need Anime Hour to return for Attack on Titan Season 4. So,
yes,
begrudgingly.
That's coming out in 4 days.
So maybe we'll have to have a bit of an Attack on Titan discussion in the next mini reviews pod.
Absolutely.
And just in general, the comments have been super nice. So thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys. Let's see. On the fan page, James Gunn pointed out that it's important to note if you look at the life signals in the comms hub, TDK isn't dead. So we actually chose him for best death of the year when he didn't actually die. So let's change it to Pete Davidson.
Awkward. Let's change it to Pete Davidson.
And then this I very much got a kick out of. It's a little video of that like cat bobbing its head, and it was what does it say? POV or listening.
We saw that together.
Yeah, POV or listening to BHL's radio show, and it's playing Boxes of Bush, which I did play on my radio show specifically for Freddie. I just want to say, what a good friend I am.
And I wasn't even there to listen.
Yeah, this motherfucker was like, "Hey, by the way, I'm gonna listen to the show today," and I was like, "Okay, I'll stack it with Freddie related songs," and then he didn't even listen, and I was like, "Wow, you're a great friend." Frederick.
I really tried to as well.
I even put in some references. I think I said something like Rampage is the greatest film of all time or something. I put out an effort, and then you were like, "Oh, by the way, I didn't listen." I was like, "Wow, that really doesn't sting me deeply to my heart." You absolute
I really felt bad afterwards.
Cockface. Anyway, that's all what I said on the air.
You said that. Yeah, I realized you said that. You realized I wasn't listening towards the very end. You're like, anyways, everything that I said today. Dad, you cockface. Speak directly to me.
And yeah, that's those are the announcements for this time. So Freddy's a bad friend. I feel like that's what you should take away from this pod. You can find us on
That's very accurate.
on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're listening there, and please give a 5-star rating. And if you're listening there, we're also on YouTube, the Poorly Planned Podcast. Please subscribe, hit the bell button.
Hit that bell button.
Hit the like button, leave a comment on what we talked about. God damn it. And yeah, I'm set a goal for this year that we hit. What was it? I think I said 1,250 subs by the end of the year.
Oh God.
And
oh God.
A certain number of listeners across all platforms. But as we've established, we're not releasing our listener number. But I can tell you later what our goal is, and we can see what we'll get to.
Okay.
Again, I don't really know why we don't
give me
release
the
it.
insider scoop.
It's either out of shame or out of sheer humbleness, or maybe a combination. But anyway, yeah.
We're ashamed of how humble we are.
And check out the fan page, link down below, the fan-made TikTok, link down below. And now back to the pod.
Can't believe that he killed his cats.
You can't say that.
But he doesn't have cats.
He has one cat. Oh, but he doesn't have cats plural, you mean? Still.
Not anymore.
Tom Cruise didn't, for the record. We've already been sued enough. We haven't been sued yet. Please don't sue us. Anyway, don't sue us, please.
Brett Dalton.
Brett?
Brett Rudy?
The ultimate sewer?
Not the sewer as in the lawyer.
Yeah.
The sewer is in where is.
So thank you very much for listening to this episode. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. Kind of slower down there.
God, yeah. Keep it calm.
It feels really good when I go really slow and then I go really fast. Anyway, go ahead.
So, you can find me on FDK_Sniper. You can find me on Fidalgard. Oh, it does feel really good, you're right. Fidalgard, and you can find me on YouTube at FDK_Gaming.
Space Gaming. You're out. Get out. You seen? You did it. Only took 4 years. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Manfred.
I want to be clear, I didn't have a voice crack there. My voice just gave out as I was saying. See you next time.
See you next time.